Have you ever looked up at the night sky and seen a giant bright moon blood red? Not a soft sunset hue, but an intense, almost supernatural red that makes you stop and wonder, what the hell is happening up there? Today, I want to take you on an imaginative journey, an adventure that mixes a bit of history, a touch of science, and a generous dose of creativity. Let's explore together what would happen if the moon, that silent companion lighting our nights, decided to swap its silvery glow for a scarlet shade that changes everything we know. How would it transform the world? People? Even the way we see the universe? Buckle up, because this idea will take us to unexpected places, and I can't wait to see where it leads. Now, think with me. What if this change wasn't just a whim of nature, but something that happened for a specific reason? An event that altered the course of history or science as we know it. Maybe a cosmic storm, a strange impact, or even an unexplained intervention. The point is, suddenly, the moon you and I have always seen in photos, poems, and stories is no longer that pale, serene disk. It's red, vibrant, almost like a warning hanging in the sky. And I guarantee you, a change like that wouldn't go unnoticed. It would shake everything, from the tides to the minds of people looking up, trying to understand what they're seeing. So let's dive into this wild idea and imagine how different the world would be with a red moon dominating the night. I'm already excited just thinking about the possibilities, are you? So, how exactly did the moon turn red? Let's imagine that at some point in history, something big happened. Maybe around the year 1500, right when explorers were crossing oceans and scientists were starting to study the sky more closely, a cosmic event changed everything. Let's say a strange comet, loaded with reddish dust and exotic minerals, grazed the moon. It didn't collide, but it left a permanent mark, a layer of particles that stuck to the lunar surface, staining it a bright red that reflects sunlight in a completely new way. The astronomers of the time, with their rudimentary telescopes, will be stunned, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. And the craziest part? This change wouldn't just be aesthetic. It would alter how the moon interacts with Earth, and I'm thrilled to imagine what comes next. With a red moon in the sky, the first thing to change is people's perception. Imagine Portuguese navigators or Vikings centuries earlier looking up and seeing that scarlet disk. The tides still rise and fall, of course, but now there's an air of mystery to everything. Nights are no longer soft and silvery. They have a different energy, almost as if the sky were whispering secrets. And that's not all. The red reflected light might even subtly alter the behavior of plants and animals that rely on the moon for their cycles. I can't help but imagine how legends would change. No more werewolves howling at a pale white full moon now. They'd be creatures from even darker tales, bathed in a crimson glow. The world as we know it starts transforming just because of this color swap, and I can't wait to explore how it unfolds. From this point on, things get even more interesting. Think of ancient civilizations like the Egyptians or the Maya, who worshiped the sky. A red moon wouldn't just be a detail to them. It would be a sign, maybe a warning from the gods or a promise of something new. I love imagining priests climbing pyramids or gazing into the desert, trying to decipher what this moon means. And as the world keeps spinning under this new sky, the consequences start to appear, some obvious, others completely unexpected. Let's follow this trail and see where it takes us, because seriously, a red moon isn't something you can ignore. It changes history, culture, even the way we dream at night. Shall we continue this journey together? Now that we've had a red moon shining in the sky since 1500, the world begins to adapt, or at least tries to. One of the first things to change would be the nights. The red light it reflects isn't just pretty, it has a real impact. Scientists today know that moonlight influences animal behavior, like turtles using its glow to find the sea. With a red tint, these turtles might get confused, maybe taking wrong paths or emerging at different times. I can picture beaches full of lost baby turtles, while fishermen of the era scratch their heads, trying to understand why the world feels so out of sync. And what about plants? Some species depend on moonlight to grow or flower in certain cycles. With this new hue, we might see forests with exotic flowers that only bloom under a carmine sky, or wheat fields growing a little slower, reshaping entire agricultural practices. Imagine a medieval farmer looking at his harvest and saying, "Blame that weird moon." It's funny to think about, but it also opens up so many possibilities. People would start developing new planting techniques, maybe even inventing different tools, all because a comet decided to paint the sky. Meanwhile, human culture explodes in new directions. In Renaissance Europe, artists like Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo would look at this red moon and see inspiration. Instead of soft, angelic paintings, we'd have canvases filled with scarlet tones, shadowy figures dancing under a sky that looks like it's on fire. Poets would write verses about the end of days or forbidden loves under a bloody glow. I love imagining Shakespeare writing Romeo and Juliet with the two lovers meeting under a red moon. It'd add even more drama, don't you think? And speaking of drama, religions wouldn't stay quiet. To Christians of the time, this could be a sign of the apocalypse. Picture sermons in churches, priests pointing to the sky and shouting about prophecies. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, Asia, the America's indigenous peoples would craft their own stories. Maybe the Aztecs would see the red moon as a call for more sacrifices, thinking the sun needed help balancing the cosmos. It's fascinating how a change in the sky could turn the world upside down, and I'm loving exploring this with you. By the way, if you're enjoying this crazy idea with me, how about leaving a like to help me keep imagining these wild scenarios? And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. There's so much more to come. Now, back to our red moon. Things get even more interesting when we think about science. In the 17th century, when Galileo and others began studying the sky in detail, a red moon would be an irresistible mystery. They might theorize that the comet's dust altered the moon's atmosphere, or even that Earth itself was being affected by something greater. Telescopes would point at it night after night. And who knows? Maybe astronomy would advance faster, with scientists obsessed with unraveling this red enigma. But not everything would be smooth progress. Navigators, who used the moon and stars to guide them, might struggle. The red light could make it harder to distinguish certain points in the sky, leading to shipwrecks or entirely new routes. Picture Christopher Columbus landing on a different continent just because the moon threw him off. It's almost comical, but it shows how something so simple could mess everything up. And as the world adjusts, people start realizing this moon isn't just a curiosity. It's shaping the future in ways no one expected. Let's see where this takes us next, because I feel something big is coming. Now, just as the world is getting used to this red moon, something unexpected happens. Let's say around 1700, scientists observing the sky with their telescopes notice something strange. The moon isn't just red because of comet dust. That cosmic event in 1500 wasn't an accident. It brought something alive. Microscopic particles, maybe tiny alien life forms, began multiplying on the lunar surface, fed by sunlight and the minerals left by the comet. Suddenly, the red moon isn't just a pretty reflection, it's pulsing, almost like it has a heartbeat of its own. I get chills imagining astronomers of the time peering through their lenses and seeing patterns moving, like shadows dancing in that scarlet glow. What would they think? That the moon is alive? This discovery changes everything. What was just a visual curiosity becomes a mystery no one knows how to solve. Some will call it a miracle, others a threat. Imagine the headlines, or rather, the pamphlets of the time screaming, "The moon lives." Entire nations would panic or rejoice. Kings of Europe might fund crazy expeditions to try and conquer the moon, while philosophers debated whether it was a god, a monster, or something humanity would never understand. And I can't stop thinking, how would it feel to look up knowing that red isn't just dust, but a sign of life? It's the kind of twist that makes your heart race, because suddenly the moon isn't just our quiet neighbor, it's a living riddle, watching us back. As the 18th century rolls on, the world splits. Some say the red moon is a gift, a chance to learn about the universe. Others see it as an omen, something that will bring the end. Rudimentary expeditions, hot air balloons, or crazy early rocket ideas might emerge, all trying to reach this red mystery. But here's the catch: no one can get there. The technology of the time just doesn't allow it. So humanity is left staring up, fascinated and frustrated, at a moon that glows red and seems to whisper something we'll never fully decipher. Wars continue, arts flourish, science advances, but all of it happens under the gaze of a moon that forever changed how we see our place in the cosmos. By the 19th century, the moon's red hue is just part of life. Children grow up singing songs about the red eye in the sky, and scientists accept that, for now, it's a secret beyond our reach. That comet in 1500 didn't just paint the moon, it gave us a mystery that shaped cultures, beliefs, and dreams for generations. And I love thinking that even today, we'd look at it with awe and curiosity. How would the modern world be with a red, living moon up there? Maybe we'd have raced faster into space, or maybe we'd still be writing stories about what it could be. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think those microscopic creatures would do if they ever reached us? Or how do you picture the night sky with a moon like that? Drop your ideas in the comments. I'm dying to keep this conversation going with you.